Now it is my pleasure to introduce Dolly Chugh, Associate Professor of Management and Organizations. Dolly has taught at NYU Stern since 2006, following a successful career in professional services for companies such as Morgan Stanley, Merrill Lynch, and Time Incorporated. She has been named one of the 100 most influential people in business ethics by Ethisphere magazine, and is the author of a forthcoming book, The Person You Mean to Be. In a 2016 survey of favorite business school professors for poets and quants, Stern alumna Ro Reddick captured precisely why Dolly has been such an influential member of the Stern community, describing her razor-sharp intelligence, deep love for teaching, willingness to open up to her students, and modeling the behaviors students need to adopt to succeed as professionals. Today, she will take a few minutes to share with the graduates, and I quote, "What I didn't figure out until my 5th year MBA reunion." Please welcome to this lectern Professor Dolly Chugh.
Good afternoon, friends, family, faculty, Mr. Kathwari, Dean Henry, President Hamilton, Chairwoman Mass, and especially the class of 2017. Thank you so much for including me in your special day, graduates, and for including me in your last commencement, Dean Henry. I have treasured having you as my dean. Today, we reflect on the journey of the past, and we imagine your highest and best selves for the future. Let's start with the past. I spoke to some of you on your first day at Stern, and on that day, I confessed to you that I really, really did not want to go to my 5th year MBA reunion. Even though I was doing fine in my career and life at the time, MBA reunions are a little bit like, imagine if Instagram came to life. That's an MBA reunion. And at that time in 1999, I hadn't gone the internet route. Many of my now very wealthy classmates had gone that route. And even though I was doing fine, I somehow just knew I was going to end up all envious about the razzle-dazzle of all my classmates. I felt like I would fall short in social comparison, and I was just dreading it. Well, fast forward to the end of that story, I did go. I made myself go. And when I got there, I somehow turned my attention away from the razzle-dazzle of my classmates and towards the razzle-dazzle of my faculty. Yes, I noticed my professors for the first time as real people who themselves had made a real career choice to become a professor. And it would turn out to be the first moment of a multi-year realization in which I would eventually figure out that I was more interested in testing ideas than testing markets, in mentoring students than in mentoring employees. For me, in that moment when I took my eyes off my classmates, I saw how my highest and best self might emerge. So that reunion was the beginning of a plot twist for me, a career plot twist that eventually led me to start a PhD at the age of 33 and start as a junior professor at the age of 38. That was over a decade ago when I joined Stern. And how fortunate for me. Like so many of my colleagues up here on the stage, I have loved being your professor. It has been an honor. When you grow, I grow. When you dream, I dream. When you learn, I learn. And in your presence, in the classroom and here today, I feel so confident that great things lie ahead. So as we reflect on your journey of the past, I wanted to bring back one particularly memorable classroom moment. A few of you were in this class when it happened, but most of you weren't. So let me describe what happened. So I came to class that day with a $20 bill. And I announced at the beginning of class that I was going to auction off that $20 bill to the highest bidder. Yep, I said bidding was optional, but the money was real. So if you chose to participate, you were bidding real money. And here's how my auction would work. The highest bidder would get the $20 bill and pay up the amount of their bid. But I added a little twist. The second highest bidder would also pay up the amount of their bid, but they get nothing. Did you catch that? So in other words, the runner-up pays up, but walks away with nothing. So I start the auction, and the bids are coming in fast and furious. I've got $1, $2, $3, $4, $5. It's moving. The rush of the bidding is in there, and it's almost hard to keep track, like who was bidding what, $15, $16, $17, $18, $19. Dead silence. Dead silence. Do I hear 20? Going once, going twice, $20. And now we're going 21, 22, 23, 24, and it keeps going. And by the time the dust had settled, I had a winning bid. I'm going to round the numbers. My winning bid was, let's call it $50 for my $20 bid. And I had a runner-up bid of $49. Yep. So I gave the $20 bill to the winner, and you better believe that I collected my $99, 50 plus 49. So if you're keeping track, my profit was $79. I think that's a good return, right? I don't know. I'm in management. I don't know. I'm pretty sure that's a good return. So it pays to be a professor, see? Well, I promise you that I did donate that $79 to charity, and then I confessed to my students that this was an exercise I had adapted from Martin Shubik and Keith Murnion. And the truth is, in this exercise, the $20 bill always sells for more than $20. In fact, I have sold $20 bills for more than $100 in the past. So why are we willing to pay more than $20 for $20? Here is what you said, many of you in this room, during our debrief. In class, you said that $20 bill was just a metaphor for whatever it is that motivates us. Maybe it's money, maybe it's prestige, maybe it's serving the community or a love of the work or impact, but whatever it is, it's the thing we're striving for. The rules of the game, you said, were rigged, such that unless you were only bidding against yourself, there was no way to do well in this game. The game, you said, forced you to compare yourself to others and always try to do one better. The moral, you said, was don't bid against anyone. What you said that day in class reminded me of research by neuroscientists on social comparison. Their work shows that neurologically, we are hardwired to compare ourselves to others. The rush we get from that social comparison can be blinding. It's narcotic in its brain activation patterns, such that we don't even notice what we actually care about, what actually gives us our humanity, who we actually are when we're in that blinding moment of social comparison. Our highest and best self is no longer visible to us. Before we know it, we are overpaying for a $20 bill. As you broke it down that day in class, I finally realized what had happened for me all those years ago at my reunion. I had spent my first 5 years out of business school comparing how I was doing to everybody else. I wasn't trying to out-earn or out-mortgage them. Remember, I didn't go the internet route. But in different ways, I was constantly measuring how I was doing against how they were doing, not against my highest and best self. They had sexier jobs than me, they had found their soulmates sooner than me, and so on, and so on, and so on. Well, thank goodness for that reunion. Hotbed of social comparison that it was, it jolted me into seeing the cost of that $20 bill, the cost of bidding against others. It was only once I decided that I wasn't going to bid against anyone except myself that I found the right path for me, which is up here in academia. That's the moment I could see my highest and best self. Because of that, I am here with the honor of being your professor. Now you are my $20 bill. The other bidders have faded into the background. So today, as we bid you farewell, we want you to know that we know it wasn't easy for you to get this degree, And for you and those who support you, we are so, so proud of you. As you imagine your future, as you imagine your highest and best self, as you go in search of what lies ahead, I hope you will resist bidding against others as you find your $20 bill. And I do hope you will go to your reunion. Until then, I am confident that great things lie ahead. Congratulations, class of 2017.